Just outside of Washington, D.C., is the community of Loudon County, Virginia. Growing, but still quiet, and in many ways, still rural in character. The Max Super Retriever Series comes to town. 75 retriever handler teams compete through 2 days of qualifying. Some are successful. Others will not make the cut.
You and your dog are against everybody else. You wish everybody well, but you really want you and your dog to excel and to really have fun and to work as that team.
I know she can do it. It's just a matter if we can do it together.
Surviving is really all you're after in the first 2 days.
The dogs are put to a strict and challenging test. Everyone watches the scores closely to hope, to see if somehow they'll make the cut. The intensity grows as the competition wears on.
You know, all these dogs have such tight scores. Everybody's just right here in a very narrow slot. And usually it's not that way. Usually it's more spaced out and it's a little easier. So, I mean, every whistle, every cast, every line, everything is so crucial here. There's no room for error out here because if you just have one zig or one zag the wrong way, you're out.
As the day wears on, some come to realize that they'll be going home. And some will play on. Second year in Virginia for Max Super Retriever Series. I'm Tommy Sanders along with Justin Tackett. Justin, we started with 75 really great handler retriever teams. We got down to our 12. We're about to start the semifinal round. But this 75, they get better and better every year. So part of your challenge is designing something that really hits them between the eyes each year. And you did it again.
Yeah, well, we started with 75 champions, as you said. The first test, 400-yard poison bird blind, had 10 docking ducks right about 20 yards offline of the blind. They made it past that. They carried another 65 yards to pick up the bird. Very difficult scenario. Then, second series, remote sit.
Talk about a remote sit. Tell us what that is.
Remote sit is really simple. You have a dog that's about 10 or 15 feet away from you, and that dog is very uncomfortable because he's used to being at your side. So they expect the dog to sit out there, be steady, yet see all the marks in the field. So, tough situation. 12 made it through. We're off to a big show.
You're the cream of the crop, the semifinalists trying to make it into the finals. Also, our Ducks Unlimited Big Air competition is going to be awesome today, including world record holder Little Morgan. Let's get started.
The Sport Dog virtual course looks just like this. Big wide open hunt test. Mark 1 comes out at 228 yards, about a 20-degree swing gear left. Mark's out at 160. You got to see this marker. You will have to handle on it. Mark 3, 104 yards. Got to see them all to be successful. You got 7 seconds. Pump 3 shells in your gun. Shoot 3 more times at the 4th and final bird. Pick them all up. This blind is serious business. The last 20 yards is in the woods and very, very difficult.
Well, at this point in the competition, we are down to 12 dog and handler teams. They're fighting for 5 places in the final round. First up now, Steve Eric from Bellefontaine, Ohio. His dog's name is Dory.
Steve is an HRC competitor. Dory's used to marking well off the gun, did an outstanding job. I think she's seen all 3 of them. And we just got a little tight breaking bird coming right here. Shoot it 3 times, Steve. That's a nice job. Showed good steadiness there.
We'll be looking for the fewest number of faults. As always, minor infractions are 2 points. The major ones are 5.
Dory.
Got a good beat on this bird. You see Steve putting his glove on there in case he needs to do some handling so the dog can really pick up his hands. In the area of the fall there. That a girl. Dug that one out.
Yeah, you got dead bird.
2 down. The meat of the course still ahead of him.
No. Heel up.
You can see he's having a little difficult time getting Dory in there next to him. What Steve's trying to do is get Dory over there to bring her back to exactly where she watched that mark fall from.
And kind of split the difference with her kind of compromise. Was that the wrong move?
I think it was, because it looks like she's gone a little bit wide right. If you don't let that dog reline and kind of settle itself in where it saw that mark, sometimes they can get off track real easily. Having to handle to the bird, I know he wasn't expecting that.
There it is.
Okay, you got the big bird on the right now. Seem to let her settle in and really figure out where this bird is. Oh, he sent her awful quick there.
You think she marked this one?
I think she saw it, but I don't think Steve gave her enough time to let her settle down and really concentrate on where that bird was. She's just kind of running into the area right now. This mark is really, really difficult, because if the dog gets in the shadows back there where the timber is, there's going to be some serious tweeting to get him in. He's racking them up here. A lot of handles to the area. Get her over. She's actually upwind right now. Came up with it. Okay, he's got a big blind here. Let's see what he can do. And she's a great, great handling dog. I've seen this dog run some amazing blinds in the past.
Dead bird.
Long blind, 300 yards.
And what happens here, it looks like everything's going great, and then you hit that timber, that wall. And if you have a black dog, the lights go out. I mean, they go into the shadows right there, and it just looks like a big black monster has eaten the dog up. I mean, they're gone.
So this timber is more of an obstacle to the handler than it is to the dog.
Exactly. The dogs can see the handler fine. It's not that tight in there. You can see it's fairly open, and she's done a nice job here. Bam, it's right there. Good girl. Decent score, 47.
47 for Steve, Eric, and Dory.
You know, that's got to make the handlers quite a bit more relaxed. Everybody's been really concerned about this blind. That's all that anybody's talked about the last 2 hours. But it looks like Steve's shown everybody that it can be done.
3 more dog and handler teams to come today, fighting for those finals, including the handler who was the champion at last year's Great Outdoor Games.
For me, the big concern right now is maturity. You know, this is a 3-year-old dog. He's very, very young. Hadn't lived long enough yet to see everything maybe that he needs to see.
Up next, J. Paul Jackson, the man who guided Achilles to the Great Outdoor Games gold medal this year.
You know, the fella that says winning isn't everything, that son of a gun never won anything, did he? But I got a young dog, and you know, I truly am just happy to be here at this point. He's 3 years old. I got a lot of Super Retriever Series events ahead of us. You know, our goal here was to make it to where we are right now. You can't take Achilles out of Hot Springs no matter what we do tomorrow. You know, I want to win, but right now I'm just enjoying having another dog here.
When J. Paul says Hot Springs, that's going to be the ultimate final, the Max Super Retriever Series Crown Championship, coming up early this summer.
Tommy, I noticed something a little crazy right now. I've never seen J. Paul stand up beside his dog while he's shooting marks with a shotgun. I wonder if this is something new. You know, he's an HRC guy primarily, and to see him do that is something very different. He runs trials as well as AKC hunt tests, but that's kind of strange. I wonder if it'll affect him.
Well, right here, a look at the regular J. Paul Jackson form that we are used to. This from Northfield, Minnesota. That was year before last.
Very surprised to see him do this, but it looks like Chief's marked everything. We'll see what takes place here. Great marking dog, young, a lot of power. He's going to be the heir apparent to Achilles' crown.
Should point out here that J. Paul brought Achilles with him to this competition, did not make it out of the qualifying rounds, picked up the poison bird, and we should also point out it's not a real poison bird. It's the kind of bird that gets you put out of the competition.
Yeah, just the kind of bird that you got to pick up after you pick up the blind, and, of course, Achilles and many, many others picked up that bird first in the first round and got to go home early.
Best score so far, 47 faults by Steve, Eric, and Dory.
Man, he's stroking. This new stand-up deal may be working for him. Let's see how he does on this long bird. You know, there's a big glare right there on that long bird. The sun's kind of peeking over the top of that timber, It's really making it difficult to see that white bird.
That's the hard part of it. Easier for the dog to see the handler, but the handler has a tough time to see that dog when they're going right into the sun.
Oh, he's right there. Look right, Chief. Look right. There you go, buddy.
Right.
Excellent score so far.
Got about 10 points. 11, 12, something like that.
He's kind of doing the math himself here.
Yeah, these guys that have run this event 4 or 5 times, they seem to know exactly what their score should be as far as they're concerned. You know, he's going in that deep, dark hole, that timber. I'm glad to finally get to see some justice. Us folks with yellow dogs have had to pay the price just like this for years. And, you know, a black dog, the only thing we can do is put him in a bunch of shadows where he can't be seen. It's just a big wall. Once the dog kind of reaches that area, he disappears to the handler. Although it's not nearly as difficult as it looks like it is, it's just you just can't see the dog, so the guys are nervous.
Still searching for that blind. There we go.
Got her done, but it was tough.
He was right on top of it. I mean, right on top of it, wasn't he? Or did I miss something there?
Score of 54 for J. Paul Jackson and Chief. They're in second place. Steve, Eric, and Dory with the lead at this point. 2 more teams yet to go in this first semifinal flight of Max Super Retriever Series from Loudon County, Virginia. Loudon County, Virginia, obviously is big air country when you think about all the great dog and handler teams that have showed up for this competition. A lot of the elite teams, a lot of unknowns as well that are doing great this weekend. The Border Collies have showed up. We got a great field, including the world record holder. Little Morgan is in the house. All right, we are in our semifinal round. We're trying to get down to 6 finalists. We have 12 dogs, 12 handlers ready to go. Here comes John Stapleton and Nutmeg, this team from Hewitt, New Jersey.
Man, I tell you what, things are nationwide in big air. I mean, they're coming from everywhere. We've got New Jersey, Louisiana. I mean, they're everywhere. And Nutmeg is serious business. She can jump.
There's a lot of talent out there.
Good girl. Stay. Good stay.
Beautiful weather. Wind's great. I mean, we could see some serious jumps here.
A little bit of a crosswind now, but generally it is favorable to the jumpers, so we're going to see some good distances.
Come on, man, get it. Get it.
Come on, Meg, get up high. Nice job. If she got just a little more height, there's no telling how far she could have gone.
Whole lot of speed, whole lot of strength, and a really good jump right there. Here's paw cam. This tells you how much of the dock they actually used. Nutmeg gave up about a foot.
Pretty darn close to perfect.
That's their first jump of the semifinal round, 22 feet and 6 inches. That paw cam, very important. Of course, a dog can give up, and we've seen a dog give up as much as 5 feet on the end of the dock before.
How many times has Little Morgan done it? When we know he would have broken the world record and left just way too early?
Many times. Chris with the LSU hat on, no confusion about his loyalties here.
Okay, what we're looking for here is big speed, but just as important and maybe more importantly, big height. You get those two things, we'll have big distance.
You're going to see all different kind of tosses from these handlers during this competition. Chris Piasun, generally one of the better, more consistent ones.
Good toss. Oh, on the verge of greatness there. If we can get a little more height, I know we'll see Little Morgan-type distances out of this dog.
Got a jump of 22 feet and 10 inches, so that's going to be our best jump so far in the competition. Used most of the dock as well. But we have a big field, a talented field here. So far in our competition, it is Chris Piasun and Bo in the lead with 22-10, John Stapleton and Nutmeg. But we still have our world record holder and many more yet to come.
I guess the difference, we've used the term hybrid in this game. Everything, it's a very different game than anything else we do, HRC program or AKC program or whatever. Got to be able to do it all. That's the key. Any dog here could be in the finals. They're all great dogs, and you just got to have a little bit of luck and hang in there. El Campo was our first trip, and Jesse made it to the semifinals there. Wound up having stumbled there and going out, and hopefully we'll do a little better this time. Feels great. He was an accident at birth. He was supposed to be a lap dog and turned into a lab, and he always wants to be in your lap. So, don't you, buddy?
Scott Baldwin, the former banker for Madison, Georgia, and his accidental athlete there, that's Jesse.
Yo, I got to ask you, what kind of guy goes from being a banker to a dog trainer, professional dog trainer?
I guess dedicated, huh?
You know, Jesse is a big old strong grand hunting retriever champion, master hunter, but he's laid back. You know, he's pretty relaxed. He's biddable. He's not a breaker. He's really not much of a creeper. He does what Scott asked. I mean, he's everything you want in a gun dog. And a strong marker. Very, very talented dog as well.
Yes.
If you remember, him being 90-plus pounds or mid-80s and up really hurt him in El Campo when the weather was hot. I mean, he's got a lot better conditions to do well here.
Scott and Jesse, one of the teams vying for that Sport Dog Team of the Year prize. Sport Dog going to award up to $10,000 for the team that performs with the most consistency over our 3 regular season events. Again, we are looking for the fewest number of faults in this competition. Steve, Eric, and Dory, the best team so far, with 47 faults.
He's got a nice run right here. Yes. He's doing great, great work. Got a 0 going into the long right hand. Well, not the long right hand bird, the semi-long right hand bird, 160 yards. Little handle of the area here. Oh. Bang. Okay. Set up for the big long one.
They are ahead of the curve at this point by a long shot.
Drive, Jesse, drive.
Long bird, again, we're looking into the sun. Hard to judge distances.
Very difficult. And if the dog goes deep and they get in that timber, I'm telling you, oh, he's right. I think he's going to recover here. He's overrun the mark by probably 15, 20 yards. Don't let him get in there, Scotty.
They're hesitant to blow that whistle because it means false, but sometimes it's a bad decision not to.
It's going to cost him right here. He's going to pay the price for letting that dog run a little bit long. Got to get him back. You know, the way the judges look at it, a dog out of sight is a dog out of control.
Out into the open. There, got it.
He didn't do as bad as I thought he was going to do. Recovered nicely. And he's a strong blind running dog. He ought to come out of this pretty nice.
They run a good blind. They will take over the lead here in Loudon County.
You know, it's just got to be nerve-wracking, though, because, you know, there's a point out there that your dog can be perfectly on line, but you're still going to ask that dog to stop and carry that last 20 yards. You know you're going to lose them into that dark timber. It's definitely an advantage to have a yellow dog on a day like today. It's getting easier, though. As the sun gets higher, the woods are lighting up just a little bit.
Long blind, 300 yards.
Right there. Here we go. He just disappeared. He's telling him to go, go, go. Bingo. Nice job.
Kept it very clean early on in the run, picked him up without much trouble, weren't too intimidated by that timber, and the result, an excellent score, 27 faults. So Scott Baldwin and Jesse easily taking over the lead in the Max Super Retriever Series competition. All right, back to the tank, ready for the Ducks Unlimited Big Air competition to resume. There you see on top of the leaderboard, Chris Piasoon and Bo. We also saw this jump from John Stapleton and Nutmeg. A good one, 22 feet and 6 inches, but this one, 22.10. It's our best jump so far in the competition. We have a good field, a strong field here, a familiar face. Coming up next, here comes Terry, Alexander, and Dax.
If you'll notice, Terry has been wrestling with Dax in the mud quite a bit.
Well, it's a muddy day. We had a big rain last night, and it's hard if you're a handler, you cannot keep the mud off.
You got to be serious. A nice jump, very, very nice jump. Big height, lots of speed, good stuff.
Dax, a very talented jumper. We saw that down in New Orleans last season, and a great jump right there, 22 feet and 4 inches. They'll take over third place. Hey, here's a team you haven't seen before. Coming up right now, Dean Skillman and Wiley.
Tommy, you got to watch this guy. If Little Morgan is the Michael Jordan of big air dogs, this dog is the LeBron James. I mean, this is a new up-and-comer. He can fly. Watch him go.
All right, we talk about the different types of tosses now. Dean's got a sort of a practice stroke going there. That may be a good idea. Let's watch.
Oh, golly.
Perfect toss.
That's serious business there. I don't know how far it is, but we're talking Little Morgan Challenger here. New blood.
Good jump all the way around. Use most of the dock. And look at the height on that dog. What a nice jump. 23 feet and 1 inch for Dean Skillman and Wiley. And there he is. World record holder. Little Morgan, 26.6, that world record.
Big speed. Big height. I mean, this guy can do it. Let's see him put one together. I'm dying to watch him bust the world record. But, you know, his big problem, Tommy, has always been oftentimes he will leave way, way, way early on the dock. We've got to watch the Paul Kemp close here to see how he shakes out.
You mentioned it earlier. He may have set the world record time and time again if he could only use all the dock on every jump.
There we go. Oh, he left early again, but gosh, he still jumped a long ways, man. That guy can fly.
Good throw. Let's take a look at how much of the dock. Oh, they left 4 feet of dock on the table there. So add 4 feet to get the real length of this jump. The official length will be considerably shorter, but still pretty darn good. 23 feet, 4 inches. Mike Jackson and Little Morgan take over the lead in our semifinal competition. Dean Skillman and Wiley, a great Super Retriever Series debut. 23-1. We'll be back. Our Max Super Retriever Series continues from here in Loudon County, Virginia. We're in our first semifinal flight. The leaders so far, Scott Baldwin and Jesse, with 27 points. To the line, Jerry Day and Sue Says Just Do It, also known as Nike. Nike will pull a score of 58, ending up in 9th place in overall competition. And shortly after this event, one of our own most heralded dogs, Nike, was put to rest unexpectedly due to cancer.
Sit.
Jerry Day and Nike were noted for their accomplishments in the Super Retriever Series and in other competitive trials. Nike will always be remembered.
Sit. Go get my nitro, I knew. Whew, bless her heart. God, I've never seen, I mean, whoo! Might be the big one. But Nike. You did a good job, gal. You sure did.
A great dog, and we will think of her often. Nike. Well, our competition will continue the same time next week on the Max Super Retriever Series back in Loudon County, Virginia for Flight 2 of our semifinal competition. Also, the Ducks Unlimited Big Air continues full stride.